All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Well, guys, today was a pretty slow day today. We did get a little bit of a pump up, but not much happened today, and there's really not much to update on. So this is going to be a shorter video. We did see, yesterday we did bounce from that local 786 in the bottom of the pitchfork. I personally took a long from that area. I'm still in that long. And I took a TP2 yesterday during the stream, about 30% of the position. Other than that, I have not touched the position. I'm still open from that position, and I am waiting for a little bit higher for my next TP. But you can see, I talk about this often on the channel. We are just kind of forming a range. This looks like an ascending channel in some ways that's forming, or sort of a sideways range that's forming underneath the breakdown of our previous range. So, and I discussed this in yesterday's live stream. I discussed this on Monday's video. But once we broke this range down, now we're looking for a new range to form in this general area lower. And then if we do find support and break back inside of our prior range, then we can look at this as one much bigger range to be looking at. So that's kind of one thing that I'm going to be following on Bitcoin. We are still looking a bit, if you are a bull, you should be a bit cautious here because this still does look like a weak move to the upside. And this could be a three-wave corrective move up to that local golden pocket and bearish backtest of our previous range value area low. And if we do reject from that area, I think that we're probably going to continue down to make new lows, potentially even coming to our more macro support between 108.3 and like 107.5, 107K actually. So it's not looking the best here for Bitcoin. If we look at the money flow, let me just adjust this box just a little bit here. If we look at the money flow on the 4 hour, money flow is leaving the asset still. We did just print a bear div earlier today on NAMI. Let me get rid of this chicken scratch here. You can see that we have the bear div confirmed on NAMI here. And did we actually make another higher high? Let's see. It's more of a double top rather than a higher high on the price action, but we kind of made that double top. We're seeing a bit of a retrace from that area. Yeah, at least on Coinbase, it's pretty much an exact double top here. But money flow coming out, still coming out on the 4 hour. And you can see as this range was forming now, I was warning about this a couple weeks ago. We made the bear divs to start out the range, higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. Then once our money flow topped out and started draining out of the asset as the range was forming, we've seen this on higher time frames back in our all-time high range that happened back here. We saw something very similar where we saw that, let me get rid of this volume profile. We saw the same sort of thing happening in here on the daily time frame. Let's go on to that daily time frame and let's pull this over. You can see here higher highs in the price action here, lower highs in the momentum waves. Then once the money flow started topping out and draining out, the range continued to form, and then the range broke down once we kind of crossed over into the red. Well, if we zoom back in onto the 4 hour chart, you can see it was pretty much an exact repeat of what happened during that bigger daily range. We formed the higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves. Once our money flow topped out on that lower high, the range kept forming, money flow kept draining out of the asset. As soon as we crossed over into the red here, breakdown of the range, money flow crossing into the red, and we are seeing that continued. If we go back to that daily time frame and we look at what happened there on the daily time frame, we did see continued follow through on the breakdown, this chop that happened, this exhaustion that happened towards the end, but a couple new lows came in. So we might be seeing something very, very similar to that on the 4 hour time frame. And if that is the case, we could be expecting that three-wave corrective move up to potentially bearishly backtest that value area low of that range that we broke down before kind of continuing to make new lows and even coming down to our macro support level, being the 2025 macro value area high. We have a daily down there. We have our pitchfork that is a little bit higher now than that area. And we have our golden pocket in that area. And that's really 107.7 to like 107K. So Bitcoin could be dropping a little bit further here if we do see that. Now, I do want to say there is a potential that we do reclaim this value area low. And if we do, I think we are going to pump up all the way to the value area high and potentially higher. Because we talked about these resistances. Monday's video, go watch Monday's video. Go watch, was it Wednesday's video? No, not Wednesday's video. Tuesday's live stream. Today's Wednesday. Uh, we have that golden pocket that is coming in close confluence with the value area high. And then we have a couple dailies up above the value area high that we could be looking at. A daily at 120, a daily at 119.5, which is pretty much where your value area high is. If we go ahead and come in here and turn on those daily levels, you can see we have a daily right on top of that value area high. So that would be an area of resistance that I would be kind of watching between 119.5 and like 120K. And I'm actually just going to pull this down now and put this box between those two areas. So that is the areas that I'm looking at for Bitcoin if we do reclaim 116.8. But it's looking weak, guys. If we turn on our volume here and we look at our volume, you can see that overall, and let's zoom in on a little bit lower of a time frame. Let's go on to the 1 hour time frame. You can see that volume has kind of been going lower. Yes, we do have some spikes at the lows, like yesterday, during yesterday's low into that 786, we did get a nice spike in volume. Today on the high, though, we did get a nice spike in red volume, and that's not something you want to see. But you can see as from yesterday's lows to today's highs, volume was just getting lower and lower and lower as we were slowly grinding to the upside. And that is telltale signs of a corrective move before more downside, more continuation of the trend, which the trend right now locally is down. So be aware of that. Now, we do have that daily. Let's just come in here onto the daily chart. We do have that daily that was barely front run, that is right below us at 112.5K. That is a potential area where we could see a bounce from, but because we've already hit our local 786, and it would be below our pitchfork band that has been holding us the last two times we came down there. If we come into this daily, I think that we might see a small bounce, like something like where we come down here, SFP yesterday's lows into the daily, see a small bounce, but then I would be looking to come back to the band, to reject the band, to continue to work down either to our major anchored VWAP or even all the way down to the bottom of your pitchfork and your macro support level. It's not looking the best on Bitcoin. I will say this, though. I think that Bitcoin locally has a probability to continue a little bit higher, just at least up to that 16.2 to 16.8K area. And the reason why we're looking at this, I described this in Monday's video, but if we take this range and we pull it all the way to current price action, you can see it lowers it to about 16.1K. Let me get rid of that real quick. And then if we take a golden pocket retrace from the highs of what was that, Thursday's highs, right before we had this big dump down to the lows, you can see that golden pocket is right on top of that value area low. So that's about 16,150 to 16,150. But what's more important to me is I don't like to include this bottom price action that we're forming here in this range up here, because this was a clear breakdown of the range, and we're now forming another range below it, a lower range that's on a lower time frame, or lower price, I should say. So for me, I prefer to stop the range where the breakdown occurred, and you can see that, and then we also have a golden pocket from the last time we rejected from the value area high, which was also a weakened high, and we know weakened highs are important highs to pay attention to. So if you pull that golden pocket from the weakened high down to the weakened low of the very next weekend, you can see that golden pocket is coming in perfect confluence with your value area low of the range that you broke down at 116.8. So really, it is kind of a zone, 116.150 to 116.8, but my emphasis is on the 116.8. And if we break above 116.8 to about 117, this is the golden pocket, then I think we could see that move back up to the value area high of the range, about 119.5 to 120. But really, if we come up and reject that 116.8K area of resistance, then I do think more downside is going to come, and I think Bitcoin's going to continue making new lows. Now, going on to our liquidation heat map here, if we just look at our Model 2 heat map, and let's go to the symbol here, Let's look at the past 2 weeks of price action. If this will load. Yeah. I mean, you can see that liquidity is up at 120K. All the local liquidity around us. And actually, if we even go back to the past month, and that's about how long this range has been forming in the breakdown of the past week, it's been about a month now. And all the local liquidity that's close to us is in that 120K area, above that 120K, those lower highs, those key lower highs around the breakout of the value area high. And then the liquidity below us is much, much lower, really coming into like 88,500. And we really don't want to break down that low. If we break 107K, then Bitcoin is going to be in serious trouble. So, yeah, it is possible that we break back into this volume profile. Another reason why I think we could come up to 120 is if we look at our CVD here in open interest, we look at our order flow charts. Let me zoom out to the 15-minute chart. And you can see from yesterday's low, specifically from yesterday's low, that 786 back test, 786 higher low back test in confluence with the pitchfork band. So this guy right here from yesterday's lows, Tuesday's lows, you can see that we have been forming some pretty bullish CVD divergence. Now, it's not absorption. Once again, guys, this is not a good tradable target. So you can see here, higher highs on the price action, lower lows on the CVD. That is bullish CVD divergence. But you can also see really coming into those lows, we had a big spike in volume. Well, that spike in volume was because we had a bunch of brand new positions opening up. And if you look at these positions, it was a mixture of shorts and longs all together at the same time, just a bunch of people longing towards the bottom of the move and shorting towards the bottom of the move. They were probably shorting the breakdown of the golden pocket, the local golden pocket. And all those moves have pretty much gotten stopped out. You can see open interest since then has been just dropping consistently and aggressively. So what this means is that positions are just closing out of the market. The longers are starting to close out, the shorters are starting to close out, and we're just seeing big consistent drops in open interest. So even though we have bullish CVD divergence here, it's not a strong signal because you, in order to have absorption or a strong divergence, you need your open interest to at least be flat or preferably rising consistently to the upside. So yes, we are seeing bullish CVD divs, but it's not the nicest signal. It's more like exhaustion of buyers and sellers, really a stalemate in the market, and we're just seeing some minor moves here, low volume minor moves, which these low volume minor moves can get taken out pretty easily as soon as some volatility comes into the market. So yeah, Bitcoin, it doesn't look good here, rejecting on a double top. But I do think because I'm looking for a little bit higher and we're looking for that 3-wave corrective move overall up, I'm looking at maybe this little drop that we're seeing now, either to the VWAP, which we're at right now. We just had a new daily close and the VWAP's now snapped to price. Or I'm looking for a little bit lower drop to back test this band that we broke out of and then continue the push up. And that overall would still create that 3-wave move up to 116.8. So really for me, 116.8 is the level that I'm watching. I have alerts set here. You can see alerts set up near there. Actually, I want to move this. Yeah, I set the alert. Let's set the alert at 116.1 because I want to look at that 116, 150 golden pocket rejection. But really, I'm going to set another alert right up near that 116.8 area. I want to have my attention on the charts there because if we do see some local bearish divs coming into that area, I will look for a short, and I will look for a short potentially all the way down to 107K or 108K to 107.7. So that's kind of what we're looking at here today for Bitcoin, guys. Not too much else to look at on the charts. Honestly, a very slow day. Altcoins are seeing that same kind of slow grind. So there's not too much to update on altcoins. If you guys want to go watch my in-depth altcoin video, go watch Monday's video. I kind of covered some of the altcoins in depth. And lastly, let's go into these VWAP bands on Bitcoin. You can see we're starting to reject from the middle band here. And once again, these bands are starting to compress. Think of these sort of like Bollinger Bands. When these VWAP bands start compressing, you can see in here when they start compressing, generally you get a bit of a consolidation in a range and then a big move happens. So right now, we are potentially seeing that here. Another thing very, very locally you can see is we're almost on the verge of creating some bearish absorption on the charts or bearish CVD divs on the charts. with spot CVD. Now, spot always leads perpetuals, so just be aware of that. On the perpetual CVD, we are seeing bullish CVD divs, but spot is seeing a little bit of the opposite. Not confirmed yet. I will say that it's not confirmed yet. You want to be making lower highs in the price action and higher highs in the CVD. So you can see here we're dropping lower, so making lower highs here. And locally, we haven't made higher highs yet in the spot CVD, but it looks like it could confirm in the next couple of hours here, maybe next 4 or 5 hours. But that's about it for today, guys. We do have a couple partners of the channel. We have BYDFI. They are a VPN free and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link, you'll get a minimum of 17% discounts on trading fees. And if you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus on your deposit. And then you guys can see various 10 to 20% deposit bonuses depending on how much you deposit here. I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram group, and all you need to get into this Telegram group where I do post some of my trade setups. Actually, one of the trade setups we posted yesterday was that long on save from 28 cents, which we did see the perfect bounce. Let me get rid of this here. Right here, 28 cents, and we did drop to that area overnight, and we did bounce exactly from that area, and we saw a bit of a move up here so far from that area. I am long on say, but I longed this higher low right here because I was asleep when this happened. So I longed this higher low right here. This was into the bottom of a micro channel, and I posted about that in the Telegram group as well. So if you want to get interested in that, if you're interested in joining the Telegram group, all you need is to sign up with my affiliate link with BYDFI, deposit $100. It's your money to keep and to trade with. You do get the 50% deposit bonus, and you can get access to the Telegram group. If you want to get into that Telegram group, the link is in the description. And all you need to do once you sign up is type in /verify and then whatever your user ID number is, and that will get you automatically into that Telegram group. Second partner of the channel is the NAMI indicator. This indicator is a momentum and money flow indicator. Actually, like you can see on NAMI here, I forgot to mention this, but we are printing some hidden bear divs on these highs, on some of these lower highs today. On Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin printed, let's go to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin printed a hidden bear div earlier, and we got a bit of a drop from that. That was at the top of the band. That was earlier today. But I think it was the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, that was a regular bear div. Never mind. So anyways, it's a really good indicator that helps me for confirmations for entries and exits and trades. If you're interested in NAMI, there is a link in the description to the website, an affiliate link. And then if you use my discount code Divine50, you can get 50% off of NAMI. Third, we have MEXC. They are a very low fee platform. I personally use MEXC to trade on. They are offering a 20% initial deposit bonus. If you sign up and deposit $100, you can get $20 back as an initial deposit bonus. And then they are offering up to $300 in futures trading bonuses just for starting to trade on the futures markets. Then lastly, we do have Bybit. Bybit is one of the largest derivatives exchanges in the world, a very reputable exchange. And if you're interested in trading on Bybit, which I do recommend if you're in an area that is not restricted for Bybit, then the link is in the description for Bybit, and you can get up to $30,000 in bonuses depending on how much you deposit and how much you trade in your futures markets. So thank you guys. If you got anything out of this video, please like the video, please share the video, and I will be streaming tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We will see you then. Have a good one.